Okay, this gets lengthy, but it's got advice here. 70. Okay, this is a rune of termination and new beginnings. So you're letting go of something. You're starting over in some way. Drawing it indicates that the life you have been living has outgrown its form, which must die so that the life energy can be released into a new birth, a new form. Urez is a rune of passage and, as such, part of the cycle of self-transformation. So I said, you need to do some things different. So changing the way you do things is going to be good. It's going to be positive. Positive growth and change, however, may involve passage into darkness as part of the cycle of perpetual renewal. As in nature, the progression consists of 5 parts: death, decay, fertilization, gestation, rebirth. Events occurring now may well prompt you to undergo a death within yourself. Since self-change is never coerced, we are always free to resist. Remain mindful that the new form, the new life, is always greater than the old. Prepare then for opportunity disguised as loss. It could involve the loss of someone or something to which there is an intense emotional bond and through which you are living a part of your life, a part that must be retrieved so you can live it out for yourself. Now, in some way, that bond is being severed, a relationship radically changed, a death experienced. Seek among the ashes and discover a new perspective in a new birth. And then the symbol Urez was a wild ox, whatever. When the wild ox was domesticated, a nearly impossible task, it could transport heavy loads. Learn to adapt yourself to the demands of such a creative time. Firm principles attach to this rune, and at the same time, humility is called for, since in order to rule you must learn how to serve. This rune puts you on notice that your soul and the universe support the new growth. I know, lots of words. It's hard to understand all that. Okay, 63. But I don't know how to shorten it up. Okay. The middle one is the self. The starting point is a self. Its essence is water. Only clarity, willingness to change is effective now. A correct relationship to yourself is primary, for from it flow all possible correct relationships with others and the divine. Remain modest, that is the oracle's counsel. Regardless of how great may be your merit, be yielding, devoted, and moderate, for then you have a true direction for your way of life. Be in the world, but not of it. That is implicit here, and yet do not be closed, narrow, or judging. Remain receptive to impulses flowing from the divine within and without. Strive to live the ordinary life in a non-ordinary way. Remember at all times what is coming to be and passing away, and focus on that which is already here. Nothing less is called from you now. This is a time of major growth and rectification, and, as a rule, rectification must come before progress. This is not a time to seek credit for accomplishments or to focus on results. Rather, be content to do your task for the task's sake. Oh God, there's so much. This is more a problem for those whose eyes are always on the goal than it is for those who have not forgotten how to play and can more easily lose themselves in doing the work for its own sake. Herein lies the secret of experiencing a true present. And that was one of your cards you got, present. If you take the rune of the self and cut it down the middle, you get the rune for joy with its mirror image. There is a subtle caution here against carelessness. The dancing acrobatic energy of balancing is called for now. The self is required to balance the self. Nothing in excess was the second phrase written over the gateway to the Temple of Delphi. The first counsel was know thyself. With these words, the alphabet of the Viking runes begins. Okay, 98. Soul searching, my dear. Change, freedom, invention, and liberation are all attributes of this rune. Drawing it indicates a pressing need within the psyche to break free from constricting identification with material reality and to experience a world of an archetypal mind. Now, do you know what that means? I don't know what. Okay, so don't be focused on material stuff And archetypal mind, I don't know what that is. So we'll have to look it up. I guess ask Google. The rune of elemental disruption, of events totally beyond your control, Hagalaz has only an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. When you draw this rune, expect disruption of your plans, for it is the great awakener, although the form the awakening takes may vary. Perhaps you experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses, as though you are emerging from a long sleep. Then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, your understanding of yourself, your work, your relationships, or beliefs. Be aware, however, that what operates here is not ultimately an outside force, not a situation of you at the mercy of externals. Your own nature is creating what's happening, and you are not without power in this situation. The inner strength you have funded until now in your life is your support and guide at a time when everything you've taken for granted is being challenged. Receiving this rune puts you on notice. You may sustain loss or damage. A tree falls on your home, a relationship fails, plans go wrong, a source of supply dries up. But do not be dismayed. You are forewarned and therefore encouraged to understand and accept what occurs as necessary for your growth. There is nothing trivial about this rune. The more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements for your growth. Another of the cycle runes, the term radical discontinuity, best describes the action of Hagalaz at its most forceful. The universe and your own soul are demanding that you do indeed grow. It sounds like the rugs will be pulled right out from underneath you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. But it's necessary. It's how you look at it. So it's confirming the other deck. We just told you that you're going to have your eyes open for some reason. I honestly don't know what it is. I don't even want to guess because I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction.